Welcome to our clinical group debrief number 2. We are Lucy, Dan, and Jasmine. Our communications with our teacher mentors and our work in class informed us on the many aspects of what makes an effective teacher. Here are some of our takeaways from this semester. Self-reflection is an integral part of teaching. Educators must be able to recognize and address any changes that need to be made and always find ways to grow and improve. Establishing trust in the classroom helps create a positive learning environment by connecting with students on an individual level and caring for their social and emotional needs. It is important to evaluate student progress by providing short and informal assessments, and it is also important to provide the necessary accommodations for students to maximize their learning. Maintain strong relationships with parents by being proactive and accommodating. Reduce disruptive and off-task behaviors in the classroom by establishing strong relationships. Communicate with your students that you have their best interest at heart and be willing to work with them. It is important and beneficial to build rapport and make connections with your colleagues. Develop strong collaborative relationships to help each other grow as teachers. Here's how we will apply what we have learned this semester in our future classrooms. We will be advocates for our students and prepare them to be their own advocates as well. We will create an equitable classroom and school environment by recognizing and understanding how students' intersecting identities impact their lives and learning. We will self-reflect and put in the work to consistently improve and grow as teachers. We will build relationships with our students and create a safe and positive community in our classroom. We will evaluate student progress and adapt our teaching practices to meet the needs of our students. And we will provide appropriate accommodations for students to best meet their needs.
Thanks, Jasmine and Dan, for the inputs in the initial section of our briefing. I now wanted to share with you guys my thoughts moving forward on all the things that I've learned from this class. I've learned that really setting high expectations for myself and my students is important. But I also think that in addition to setting high standards, that we're all human, and we need to be flexible and we need to have a sense of humor. So that's actually why I chose this graphic to kind of represent where I am. I do set the bar high all the time, and I think that a little humor to understand that that's not a bad thing is something that we can all embrace. As educators, we need to be able to communicate clearly our expectations with students, and we must be consistent really in the level of effort that we put in place to really work with our students to understand their needs, to meet our students where they're at, and then to work with them to achieve success. So setting those high standards for ourselves and for students works well and dovetails into that communication and consistency that teachers need to be able to deliver the curriculum and the support that children need to move forward, especially academically, but also socially and emotionally, because teachers are the whole package. So just like the whole child, there's the whole teacher. And you can't build the whole child without taking care of the whole teacher. So thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of our briefing.
To illustrate one of my key takeaways, I chose a comic strip I created for one of my multi-genre blogs. My comic strip shows how having high expectations for all students increases student motivation and self-efficiency.
Hello everyone. I'd like to start with advice my mentor shared with me in our last correspondence. He told me to be willing to reflect and adjust and remember that failure is only negative if you don't use it as a tool to improve. I found this to be particularly profound and important to consider when learning about the many facets of what it means to be a teacher. At its core, we have to be willing to self-reflect and evaluate our progress. There will never be a point that we know all that needs to be known in the field of education, which is why we should be continually challenging ourselves. I have also provided a word cloud shaped in the image of a hand, resembling to me what could be a raised hand in the classroom. The words I specifically chose within it are words that have stayed with me throughout the semester, through our readings, people I've met, communication with my mentor, and working with my clinical group. I would like to specifically spotlight some of those words that I have found most important to my professional growth and educational knowledge, and those would be collaboration, motivation, positivity, relationship, advocating, feedback, and reflection. We want to take this opportunity to thank you for listening to our presentation, and we sincerely hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you.